Jermaine broke up with me in the 5th grade. For Tanisha. Justin, the most sought-after boy in 7th grade, asked me out. We didn't talk for the whole week we dated. Kirk broke up with me in the 8th grade because I was too afraid to kiss him in front of everyone in the bus loop. He made out with Stacy a few weeks later instead. Chris broke up with me after my phone got disconnected for 4 months. I wouldn't kiss him either. Then there was Sean, whom I dated from senior year into my first year of college. He was still a junior in high school. I know, ick. It was the hardest one to get over. I thought we were going to get married, have kids, the whole shebang. So when his "I don't love you like that" came, I was devastated. No more love for me. No more breakups. The next person I dated was Brian, my husband. So thank you, Sean. Guess it worked out after all. Hi, I'm Johanna. For the tired, truthful, and trying, this is called Anyway. Song of Songs 2:14. Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice. For your voice is pleasant and your face is lovely. In the months between Sean and Brian, I was depressed. The plans I had for my future were dashed, along with my self-esteem. I was lonely. Community college meant that I had stayed home while all of my friends were living new adventures in college. I graduated from youth group 2 and had to attend the young adult services instead, where I knew no one. My relationship with Sean kept me close to home, and I had miscalculated. Big time. The ocean became my closest friend. At night, I would drive for hours, skirting the coastline, windows open, listening to the fray, loud crying. When I wasn't at work or in school, I was on the beach, sometimes just sitting there, taking it in. Other times reading Lamentations and Hosea. Brennan Manning's The Ragamuffin Gospel became my staple. Then it was Thomas Merton's New Seeds of Contemplation. Then St. Francis of Assisi's The Imitation of Christ. I was an English major, after all. When they overscheduled someone at work, I was the first to volunteer to leave. Not because I didn't need the money. In fact, I let my insurance lapse, I was so broke. But because I wanted to be in the sun, on the shore, meeting with God. It started with voracious reading, then slowly turned into prayers on the page of a simple, marbled composition book. The first time I initiated a conversation with Jesus instead of waiting for him to speak first. After all these years, I still have that old notebook. Looking at it now, I'm slightly proud, slightly embarrassed. It's completely full. In it, I can see myself before Brian, before marriage, before Bug, hurting, hungry. The first entry? Adonias. Oof. My poetic eagerness, of course, intact. A blend of Adonai and Adonis. A nod to Shelley. My pen name, for Jesus. They start out as one-way conversations, invitations. March 12th, 2006. Break me away from this need to be accepted by other people, this need to be noticed, or please satisfy it with complete knowledge of your desiring me. Still working on that one. I don't know if it was the searching or the reading or the hurting, but the writing doesn't stop. I do it everywhere. My little cashier job at a health market became the hub for my best work. At night, between customers, written on small paper bags that sometimes disappear. If you went home with one of those, yeah, that was me. So sorry. Airing out the hurts, writing down and interpreting verses, index carding them for my back pocket, helped me to stop replaying damaging conversations, stalking MySpace, crying at random times during the day. Makes me more aware of God's proximity. And he starts writing back. Desperation leads my pen to the paper. It hovers as I force stillness and listen. How would he address me? Johanna, of course, but instead I write, daughter. And instantly, something shifts. It feels soft, warm, familiar, true. More true than my own name. It wasn't a voice in the sky thundering overhead, just a whisper. Close, then closer. There, on the page, full of all my 19-year-old poetic longing. Stay with me. What couldn't I do with a life fully surrendered? Yes, direct quotes from my journal. Turns out, Jesus is also English major fluent. It was an echo of the previous months, an unmistakable yes. Flipping the pages, there is so much hope, affection, affirmation, and it's mutual. Me giving God all the anxiety, hurt, and insecurity, and God speaking back to it. The dialogue becomes a riptide for my pessimism and sadness. When I'm anywhere else, I crave the quiet, contemplative safety of the conversation. For months, I submerge, and the depths get me out of my head and fill me with wonder. It is the closest I have ever felt to God. Even now, this era is the baseline through which I measure every future interaction with Jesus. I remember thinking then that it was the only relationship I would ever want. Enter Brian. We met in a half-demoed trailer on the basis of a lie. I had no idea what I was getting into. His friends had no idea we were coming. We spent the night driving to nowhere, a luxury of youth. He only spoke to me twice that night. Once to text, "So much for your headache," on his own phone, and later to suggest we should go running together. Me, my girlfriends, and him. Yeah, sure. It was obviously a no. Weirdo. What a strange night. Have a nice life. But the next day, our mutual friend reaches out. Brian had a great time and wants to hang out with us again tonight. I had spent the morning journaling, and the spaces between conversation were getting lonely. Okay, sure. We adopt my nightly beach route. Slowly, we ditch the third wheel. According to Brian, she laughed in his face when he told her he liked me. But he was persistent. We would drive along the same coast where, months earlier, I had cried. Alone. Then, because gas was expensive, we walked it. Brian wanted to know everything. Not my favorite color or favorite food, but what I believed, what I was reading, what made me smile. He buys every book I'm reading, quotes Manning back to me, wants to know the verses on my index cards. I'm still surprised when a week into getting to know each other results in the declaration, I love you, and a no thanks from me. Poor guy. Amazingly, he sticks around. Even when I give him 3 more no's in the months that follow. I am so confused by Brian. I asked God about it. A lot. One entry, I'm troubled. I'm deeply troubled. A few days later, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I being stupid? 3 months later, does my attachment to Brian mean that I'm unable to treasure who you are, Jesus? 5 months, a 2-week hanging out fast, and many ocean drives later, Brian finally got my clear yes. But there are more days between journal entries. Our first kiss turns into other firsts quickly. Brian's studio apartment soon becomes our studio apartment. I write less and less, happy, but also hiding, ashamed. Daughter somehow becomes illegitimate. When I do write, there's presence, but no more poetry. Between grad school, marriage, jobs, and moving, none of my notebooks will ever be as full. Soon, the writing stops. But the conversation continues. They start out as lists, 10 items long. The initial question, am I done with teaching? If not, this is what I need. These days I'm more practical than poetic. Check, check, check. Apparently no. Not even close. The practical and poetic marry when I feel the pull to write a letter to seller to even our chances in the cutthroat real estate market. A familiar feeling takes over as I allow myself to sit in the stillness. My fingers hover the keys, the cursor blinking, expectantly. This time, an image. Mount Everest? Really? Yes, Mount Everest. Okay, Lord. Here goes. It's not the highest, but they take our offer over 5 others. And the address? Combination of my favorite number and Brian's. A wink, as it were. I don't have a working journal anymore. These days, I have several. There are months between entries, sometimes years, but I'm not afraid to revisit them, to ask new questions or voice new woes. In time, I even get brave enough to respond. Johanna. Still warm, still familiar, still affirming. The wonder was always in the correspondence, the exchange. Now, in the quiet, a simple directive, patient but firm. Speak.